Hello music lovers, here is Country Music News International. We are proud to present you the one and only superstar and crossover artist, award and Grammy winner, and still hottest woman in music business, Miss Shania Twain. Shania, welcome to Country Music News International.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Shania, you are back with the comeback of the year. Since your last studio album Up in 2002 and your greatest hits album in 2004, music has many new fans throughout Europe who may be hearing about you for the first time. How would you describe yourself and the music you play to someone who has never seen or heard you?
I would explain my music or describe my music as positive energy, energetic, very diverse, storytelling, very autobiographical, and quite personal to me as a songwriter as well.
Your new album have the title Now. How did you choose the title for the album? Is there a story behind the name?
Yes, it took a long time for me to be ready to make this album, and when I finally arrived at the moment when I realized that I was ready, it was almost as if it was a statement of saying, I'm ready now, and this is me now, this is Shania now. And because it had been such a long time, 15 years since my last album, I knew that people would have some curiosity about how I had evolved and maybe changed, or maybe how in some ways I hadn't changed. So I felt that the statement of saying, Shania was Shania then, and now Shania is who she is today.
Oh, okay. So, please tell us about the songs on your album, influence, etc.
Well, the influence for this album was really inspired by a period in my life that I was going through, a transition, a very difficult time after a long marriage and divorce, and then after recovering my voice that I had lost, and just many ups and downs, and the journey through finding optimism and the power to survive difficult times. And my songwriting is very much my therapy. And so through songwriting, which is what ended up being this album, that therapy is explained through the music. So I've got a lot of songs on the album that I explain my sadness and some of my melancholy moods, but then I also celebrate surviving those and coming out of the dark into the light. So there's a lot of variety or mixture emotions on this album, and it's very autobiographical and very much written like a personal diary.
Mm-hmm. So, what is the difference between your last album Up and your current album Now?
Well, there's a lot of maturity that is now, I think, prevalent in this current album Now. A lot of life has been lived since I recorded the album Up. Up, even just by the title of the album, it's very a very happy, positive, spirited album, and really written very much for the live experience of being in concert and engaging the audience in that high energy. And this current album is more, it's deeper in an emotional experience that explains challenge and overcoming challenge. So it's more written from an inspirational perspective.
Hmm. So, what kind of songs do you like to record it the most?
I like to record stories the most. The storytelling is my greatest pleasure. And so songs like, this current album is really an indulgence, I have to say, because it's more of the type of music that I like to record than anything I've ever recorded before. So songs like I'm All Right are very much, for me, the ideal pleasurable song to record and write, and just pure enjoyment for me. And songs like Poor Me and also All in All is another one that I really enjoyed writing and recording. So it's very diverse. Like I said earlier, if I was to explain my music, and especially this current album, I would say that it's very diverse, both in the mood of the album and also the musical productions from song to song.
Mm-hmm. So, what is your favorite song among all the songs you have recorded, and what's the story behind it?
Well, I have favorite songs for different reasons in all of the songs that I've recorded. For example, I might, I really enjoy a song like Man, I Feel Like a Woman in live concert. I never get tired of it because it's so engaging with the audience, and it energizes me every time. So that would be probably my favorite song to do live, for example, that I've recorded. From This Moment On is my favorite song in the sense, ballad in the sense that it's the greatest compliment I've ever been paid by the public, because it became such a standard wedding song, and it means so much to so many people that get married to that song. So that song took on a whole new meaning for me that developed through the audience.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite current song that I've recorded is more difficult to tell you because they're all so new to me still that I change my mind about what my favorite song is on my new album every day. It depends what mood I'm in, and I haven't had time to perform the album live yet and really get to know the full spectrum of the power of the songs and what they mean to other people. So I've yet to discover a lot of things about the new music and its relationship with the public.
Mm-hmm. So, since your last album Up and the new one now happens a lot in the music business. So, what do you think about today's music scene versus its posts, and where do you see it going in the future?
I'm really enjoying the music today, and I'm very much a current listener, or I'm a good fan, I would say, of new music. I'm always looking forward to what's coming, to artists that I know will be out next year that I haven't heard yet. I love discovering new artists and new music and new songs, and I love being inspired by ideas that I've never heard before. So I'm a little bit of a fan in that sense, and I have I've got a real appetite for something new. But at the same time, I love my classics. I'm always going back to listen to the Carpenters and Gordon Lightfoot. I love listening to Emmylou Harris and the Bee Gees and the Eagles. So I need a broad spectrum of music to be satisfied as a listener.
Mm-hmm. So If you had the chance to change something about the music industry, what would it be?
It would be the categorization of genres that limits access to the listeners. This is what I would change. So I believe very much in playing the best or exposing or offering the best of all genres to the audience and not just isolating music by categorizing or limiting them to one genre. I find that very frustrating. So, for example, many people that I know, I think everybody that I know actually, regardless of their age, their playlists are a variety of so many different things. It's very rarely just one solid list of, a style. Even my own 16-year-old son has a variety of things on his playlist. I mean, he has classic rock from the 70s and 80s all the way up to, he has some classical on there, and yet he's a big EDM fan. So I think that this is more what I would gear the platforms toward and exposing the highest quality music from all genres so that we could get more of a broad exposure to different genres. And I just think it would be more enlightening as a listener.
Mm-hmm. You won in your career so many awards, were honored by so many companies and music industry. So what moments in your career stand out in your memory as highlights and achievement which you are proud of?
Well, I mean, this year, right around this time, I'm celebrating the 20th anniversary of Come On Over, and I'm very proud of that achievement, the achievement of that album and what it represents to even today's music and the influence that it's had over the years, over these last 20 years. And it's a huge compliment to know and to hear from other artists how much that album influenced them. So that is, I consider, a great accomplishment. I'm very proud of that one. And also the fact that, 3 albums in a row, that whole succession of albums, The Woman in Me, Come On Over, and Up were all diamond albums. So it's very rare to have 3 diamond albums consecutively. It's very, very rarely achieved. So I would say that is an accolade that you couldn't even create through, for example, the platform of award giving. You couldn't vote to accomplish something like that. That is something that you just have to, that either is achieved or not achieved. And so that feels very rewarding. And that the public and the listenership, besides that, just through their listening pleasure and their and expressing that their acceptance or admiration for the music.
Mm-hmm. So, when you get time off, how do you like to relax?
I like domestic life. Relaxing at home is my favorite thing to do. I like being with my family and my pet. And another way that I love to relax is by writing music. I love to write music. It's a pleasure. It's like writing in my diary. And cooking is also another way that I enjoy relaxing.
Oh, what's your favorite food?
Well, I cook a lot of things. last night I made a banana bread, and then maybe I'll make a casserole. I'm always making some kind of different thing, and I just enjoy being in the kitchen and creating from whatever's in the cupboards.
Okay. Just a question, was your family happy about when you told them that you want to go back on the road recording a new album and step back to the spotlight?
Yes, I have. My husband was extremely supportive, and my son as well, and I have a sister that is a big cheerleader or so. I had support around me. Everybody was very excited that I would, that I decided to go back to work as a recording artist, and encouraged me to do it, and to take on the challenge, because it was definitely a big challenge.
Mm-hmm. So, what hopes and desires do you have?
I have many hopes and desires still in my life. Desires maybe isn't such a great, maybe not a word that I would use. I have a lot of, because desires, there's not really much to desire in life. I've been very lucky, and I have, everything that I need. I'm very comfortable in that sense. But my hopes, there's so many hopes. So when I think of, I hope that, to have grandchildren someday. I hope to make more records. I hope to make new friends, and I hope to travel places I've never been, So I guess I'm hopeful that I will live long enough to explore more in my life and create more.
So, last question. What message would you like to send to your European fans?
Well, I want to say to my European fans that I look very forward to reuniting, because it's been so many years since I've been on tour in Europe, and I'm so excited about planning the tour and visiting the cities and sharing my music with all of you. That would be my message, and I'll be counting, down the days.
Okay. Thanks for the interview, Shania, and hope to see you soon in Europe.
Okay. Yes, I look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you.